Well, welcome, folks. Thank you for joining us on this evening Go for Diamond session. And it is our last call of the day. So those of you that are on Facebook Live, actually, I'm not seeing you just as of yet, but I should see your, there you are.
Last call of the day, last call of the year.
That is
How many
correct.
people are excited for 2022 to end, to start a new, fresh year?
I look forward to get rid of 2022 and start 2023. I don't know about you, but 2022, I got enough of it. But actually, it was a really, being actually all serious, it's been a really, really good year when it comes to learning, transitioning, transcending, and everything else. It was actually wonderful. And by the way, I just want to congratulations to Argentina, who won the soccer game on Sunday. So congratulations to them. I know it was a struggle. I think France was actually trying to win this, and I think they won on the last what do you call the penalty shot? I think we call it. And it was one heck of a game. So congratulations to them. So if you're listening and you actually voted for Argentina, congratulations, you won. So before we begin, again, wanted to remind everybody that this is the last call of the year. The next Go for Diamond session will be on January 2nd. So do take note of that. Keep in mind that if you're receiving our emails, you'll be notified of the call. And we'll be using the same link. Everything will be the same. Now, the other thing that's very important, I want to remind everybody, is to activate your affiliate site. And if you are on a minimum of 50 PV on AutoShip, which I don't recommend to be, I recommend to be 100 so you can benefit from the complete compensation plan. But if you are on a minimum of 50 PV, automatically you will be receiving an email from Max International. And let's just say for some reason you didn't receive it. If you are in 50 PV as of December, it is a very, very simple thing to fix. Okay, so you do not have to worry about that. What's important is your date of your activation on your monthly AutoShip has to be in December. And who knows what will happen in January, but I highly, highly, highly recommend that you activate that. This is, again, it is not replacing, it is just an add-on to the Max International opportunity. Some of you may or may not be aware that the network marketing arena is at $250 billion, in fact, $60 billion in revenue, where the affiliate is more like 16 billion. But understand that it is growing, and Max is want to tap into all of these different areas. And of course, the associates that are aware of all of this will benefit. So make sure that you are taking care of that. Number 3 is in the new year, when it comes to the presentations, as you know, we are doing, or maybe you're not aware. If you're not, I suggest that you connect your outgoing emails. You just go to activeteamgroup.com, register your email, and then you'll start receiving emails on Saturdays and Sundays. Is usually when I send my emails, unless there's other things that are important to share, it will be sent throughout the week. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have presentations at 8 o'clock Eastern time. On Thursdays only, we also have another presentation at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the same link. This is more the international market, specifically the African market, West African market, East African market, generally are there. So that's going to be cdglobalimpact.com. cdglobalimpact.com is the actual link. I'm going to post this right now, right on the chat, so you can see this. Okay, so that's the link to join in. And for all of you that are presenting this week, I'm going to be sending a quick email for all of you to connect through your moderator link. Okay, so we can kind of talk to you about this. It'll be about a 5-10 minute session just to confirm that you're able to connect. So that's something we will let you know very, very soon. Also, what's very important is we have the Crown Diamond Global Impact Facebook group that will be very active as of January 4th. We're going to be starting the 90-day run, and that will initiate on the 4th. And it's going to be in line with, hey, Sammy, I got a blank right now. Fraser Brooks, who's going to be talking about his social media tactics on what he does and techniques and everything else. I know that Sylvie, you're already probably working with him on that. And this is going to be very, very, very helpful. So I highly recommend those of you that are part of the program, the accelerator, you're all set. You're going to have it all. Now, this session that we're going to be doing is going to be a summary, but it'll be enough information for you to be able to tap into what we're going to do. So make sure you tune in for that, and make sure that you don't tune in alone, but your team is tuning in, which is very important. That will start on January 4th. There's already an email that went out on that. It's also part of the group. The last thing I want to mention, and again, folks, this is optional. You don't have to be too concerned about this. Tammy and I created a group. Okay, I'm posting it right now. The link is right there on the meeting chat, on the chat meeting. And this is a Telegram group. And the reason why I chose Telegram over WhatsApp or Messenger, there's a lot of features that are presented that are actually quite nice on Telegram. And you can actually turn off notification. But what's important is that you plug in if you intend to build this business quite seriously. Okay, because there'll be a lot more activities that's going to be going on the Telegram group. And the link has just been posted on the meeting chat. If you happen to be on Facebook Live, not to worry, I will make that available. Now, this link is for the Americas. This is all the way up from North America, Central America, South America. It's all of the Americas. So there'll be French, it'll be Spanish, it'll be in English. Of course, the correspondence will be in English. But as you know, today with Google Translate and the video on YouTube, you can select the language you want and everything else. It's a no-brainer to be able to have multiple language and support multiple language. So, but wanted to let you know that if you're serious wanting to build your business, you want to plug into that, because we're going to be a lot more active in that group than the Canada USA that we currently have, which will always be communicating, sharing events, and everything else will be there. But for the people that are very serious and wanting to build their business, I recommend that you go there. Okay, Tammy and I are very, very, very serious for 2023. Not that we were not before, but there's a lot of changes, a lot of things that are happening. And the folks that are just kind of roaming around, they don't want to work too hard, they just want to consume the product. We don't want to overwhelm you by giving you too much information and too many things. But those of you who want to make money and build solid teams, you want to be part of this Telegram group. Okay, so that's the announcement I wanted to share before we begin tonight. And the session this evening, it's about what is your perfect average day? And Tammy and I actually are going through this ourselves, even though, and we'll give you some examples on what our perfect average day is, and we're living that. But once upon a time, we were not. It was a dream. And this session will give you a anchor point on what matters in your life, what matters to you. Because a lot of us, we tend to focus in achieving certain things, but we don't really focus on what really matters, what's really important to you. So we just want to help you, again, give you a anchor point for you to be able to start something throughout the holidays, right? So the perfect day question is that if there were no limitation or consequences, what would you prefer? What was your perfect average day look like? Okay, so the thing is, put aside, for example, and you need, there's some of the filters I want to share with you as you're preparing for this. Okay, put aside the financial burden that you may be finding yourself around, or maybe where you're located, or maybe the health that you're in right now. Maybe there's some people that are kind of causing some limiting belief around you based on their mindset, based on the way they put that aside as you are preparing that perfect day. Put all that aside, okay? And be mindful of some of the things that the consequences, for example, stuff that could get you in trouble. Give you some example is, for example, if you choose to eat at McDonald's every single day, right? There's consequences to do something like that, right? Never move around and never train at all. Your body is not moving day after day after day after day. When you reach 50, you got to make some decisions, some serious decisions. Because if you do the things that you were doing in your 30s and your 20s and your 40s at 50, and you keep doing these things, there will be consequences. So just keep that in mind as you choose your perfect day, right? And the fact here that's important is looking at your average day. Look at the things that you could do all day long. I'm not talking about Netflix. The things that you could do all day long that won't bore you to death and you won't get sick of. Focus on those kind of thoughts. the things that you just love doing that you never get sick of. Right. So Tammy's gonna right now, I'm gonna pass it over to Tammy to brainstorm on some of the questions to kind of help you to get unstuck, to help you get started. So back to you, Tammy.
So before we start throwing the questions out there, I would love all of you to write this down, because gratitude is such a huge foundation on everything that you desire to be, do, and have in your life. So everybody got their paper and pen handy? I'll repeat it a couple times. I am so happy and grateful now that abundance comes to me easily and effortlessly.
You're pulling a Christian Jane right
Oh my
here.
God, yeah. It's too late. Let me see, what else did I write down? That is consistent and on an everyday basis.
Do you want to repeat that, Tammy?
Yeah, I'm going to put my glasses on because I don't have my contacts tonight. Okay. I am so grateful now that abundance comes to me easily and effortlessly on a consistent and everyday basis. I would love all of you to read this when you wake up in the morning, wherever you put it where you're going to see it. And every night before you go to bed. And if you take moments in between of your schedule, have this around you on your mirror and start attracting some wonderful things into your life, because there's always going to be things that'll take us out of our game. There's always going to be situations that are going to knock us in the head. And we just need to stay focused on the things that we desire to be, to have in our lives. Okay, so we're going to go with some of the questions. You write the questions down too, because this is going to help you as well. What would your friends be like in your environment? What will your friends be like? The conversations that you're going to have in your environment. What would you do for personal fulfillment? What do you love to do? Most of us don't take the time to do the things that we love because we're so caught up in the things that we feel like we have to do. If you had all the resources, everything that you desired, what will you do? What does it look like for you? What life purpose would you strive towards? What is so meaningful to you that you jump out of bed to do because it brings so much joy to you? What would your business be? Obviously, we're all in Max, but maybe some of you have other dreams and goals and investment goals. I know Chris and I are on an investment path for a few years, and we love it. What is it for you? I love this one. What time would you start work? If you had everything that you desired, what time would your day start? And what time would it finish? Finishing time, if it's a work schedule that you desire, not have to, desire. You want to work 4 hours a week or a day? It's up to you. You make these decisions on what you want for your future. But bring it into the now as if you already got it. What are your prospects like? What are they like? The people that you're attracting in your environment, what are they like? What's your relationship like with your spouse? You can add your children, your grandchildren. What would you do for family time? What would you have for dinner? If you had no financial worries at all, what would you have for dinner? We all know that groceries today is absolutely insane. But what would you have for dinner if you had the choice? And where would you go out to eat? Who would you eat with? Who are the people in your environment that you love to go out, hang out, and go and have a meal with? Who are these people? Important people in your life. And what are the kinds of things that you would be talking about? What do you like to talk about on a daily basis? What makes you happy? That Chris and I have lots of conversations on a daily basis on things that we love to talk about, things that we like. You know, it's not always something that I like that Chris likes, but we both have to be happy. So sometimes I'm doing the things that I like, even a course or whatever it is that I enjoy, and then Chris will do something that he enjoys, and we're all happy in our happy home. What would you do at night? What would your evenings look like? And who would you do it with? Even better, where would you do it? I like to vacation. I know we do. That's got to be in the plan, right? No limits. You're creating your life. And what thoughts will go through your mind before you go to bed in the evening? And what are you excited about when you wake up? I know when I get up, I'm so excited to get on with my 7 a.m. gals. It's been such an amazing 12-month journey of waking up and being there with the accountability girls that are showing up at 7 a.m. And it's amazing the stuff that we've learned and the disciplines that we've created by doing this. So when I wake up in the morning, that excites me, but there's many other things that excites me, but that's one of them.
So now that you have some of those memory joggers to help you, keep in mind that these are examples. There's 1,000 things I can think about that could be different that are not on that list, that you might think about. And what's very important is once you start figuring out those answers, write them down from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep at night. And my recommendation is just do an evaluation of your own day. right? Tomorrow you wake up and there might be some things that you're not happy about, but there might be some things that you're really fun about. Write this down. The things that you would like to do more of. And the more details and the more clear you are, the better this will be. This is perfect exercise before you actually set your goals, right? And you don't need to share this with anyone. What matters is you. Be as precise as possible about what you want to create as that perfect day. Give you an example. That used to be a dream of ours. Well, I know for me, even before I met Tammy, I always wanted to have a place in Florida. I always wanted to have my laptop and work on the beach. Holy and behold, we've been doing that since 2013. Here's one of our perfect day. And Tammy, you can testify to that, right? We wake up in the morning and we do our training. We have a beautiful gym environment in our condo in Florida. We train. We have a great breakfast, so we take a shake. And then we go in the car and then we put the canopy in there and everything we need. And we drive 5 minutes to the beach. We bring the canopy there. We set it up. Takes about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. We put our chairs. We put the nice sand carpet. You know what I mean? The kind of environment to be super comfortable and easy to walk around without always having to deal with the sand. And we have our tables. We have our cooler. We have our laptop. And many of you actually have witnessed where we're doing our calls or we're doing a three-way and we're happy to be sitting on the beach doing that. That for me is a perfect day. Then you pack things up, you go home, you just, you may be watching a movie or maybe you feel like sleeping for a few hours and we go out for supper and then we come back. And do you know what I mean? So think of some of the things that you've done in the past that you would love to do more of and kind of do an inventory of your own day, right? It's unfortunate. See, I find in North America, especially in the past 3 years, people are literally working to live instead of, you know what I mean? And, it's, or what's the expression? You live to work. Yeah, I think that's the expression, right? They tend to live to go to work. That's all they think about. Work all the time. And I know I caught myself all the time, nonstop. And at one point, you lose sight of really what matters. You lose yourself in the process. So this exercise.
And everybody's working from home and they don't get out of the house. There's so many things that people are not doing today. They're not connecting like they would normally connect. So it's to break that pattern that's keeping us stuck in this pattern, is keeping us all stuck. I know for us, we talk about things like that. We just don't get out enough. We travel. When it comes to travel, when I think of our schedule, we tend to travel, and all of you see our schedule because you see it on social media. We travel because there's an event with Max. But to take the time to travel and go do something for a week outside of the environment of work is something that we've got on our list, that we've been putting aside. Like, what are some of the things that you're putting aside that's going to improve relationship, communication, just clearing your head? Things that it's important to clear your head, to sharpen the saw, instead of being on and on and on often. Some of you are not in that situation, but I'm just sharing that this is where we're at. I'd love to, Chris, open it up. If anybody wants to.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I'd just love to do that. Some of you may want to share your perfect day. Don't be shy. You may not have all the answers to what the exact perfect day may look like, but you may have some examples of some of the things that you would love to be able to do more of. That would be part of what you would consider as a perfect day. Anybody wants to take the floor and share what your perfect day would look like?
Yeah, you want to remove the flyer, Chris, so we can see everybody?
Oh my God, the whole time I went, yeah. Hold on here. Okay, so let me go with speaker view, and then we'll just bring up the brave souls that are willing to step up and share what would be a perfect day for them.
I can share.
All right, Paul,
Wonderful.
go ahead. Come
Well,
on in.
of course, after a nice sleep and waking up when I finish sleeping, instead of with an alarm clock. But I enjoy my 9:30 with the gals. The odd time we have, Paul that's joining us. So it's nice to have a male perspective every now and then. And but it's also what I would like to do to make it a perfect day is to set up a couple of times a week, maybe at least once a week. I would like to set up a way to have lunch with somebody, with a millionaire or multimillionaire, so I could pick their brain, to find people that I can learn from. And, how do they do this? How do they do that? And have that once a week or once a month, find the people, if they would agree to do that, and to really expand your own thinking and become more aware of what's around you, who's around you, and share. And at some point, you may be the one sharing with some other people. Like, for example, I'm part of Toastmasters International, where I'm learning or I'm improving my public speaking and all that. And I'm in a new club
Brilliant.
of inspiring women. And I don't know these people because most of them are out of the country, but some are in Toronto. So I'm setting a time to meet each and every one of them for coffee. So I can get to know them better and then see if what I have could be a fit for them, in building that relationship. Okay. And building the confidence or the trust that you need in building that relationship. So that would make it a nice day, to meet people all day long for coffee and chat and talk about business and different things like that. And of course, there's many other things on my list, but that's the first thing that came to mind.
Brilliant. Thanks for sharing, Mary Paul. That's really,
Thank
really
you for
nice.
sharing, yeah.
Wonderful. That's actually
That's a
great.
great idea to meet.
Absolutely.
People who are wealthy.
Who else would like to share the perfect day? Don't be shy, folks. You matter.
Even if you just put it one or two things.
Yeah, it could just be one
It would be
thing.
great to hear from you.
Yeah, one thing that you'd like to add.
I'd like to, yeah,
Oh, okay, beautiful, beautiful. Please go on.
I'd love to do art, like paintings and sketches and things. So I'm going to try and do a course at night, in the early evening, with somebody online. Just somebody to teach me some of the ropes and enjoy the creativeness of that. It's something that I've always wanted to do, so it's something I should add to my day. Not every day, of course, but at least once a week to use my creative skills. So that's something I was thinking about as you were talking. So
Brilliant, brilliant. By the way, you look fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate you
Yes.
sharing.
thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Paul.
You guys are networkers. You should not be shy. This is what we do for a living. Paul, yeah, please go ahead.
So my perfect day, well, I actually have it every day because I pick up the farmer hand.
Oh, that's so cool.
Aw.
Besides
That is nice. I'm
Besides
learning that. I'm learning.
yeah, that's it. It'd be the day where every phone call you get is somebody positive, somebody who's got some good news to report. You go to the mailbox, you open up the mailbox, there's checks in the mailbox, no bills. And you turn on the news and it's all kinds of wonderful things happening and great discoveries. Nobody's suing anybody. Just a good, just a good day. It's nice, about 24 degrees, breeze blowing, nature. You are enjoying the sound of the birds, the sound of the water running through the brook behind your house, and life's good. And there's nothing but great things happening. And you know, deep down, tomorrow is gonna be even better.
Wow, you
Wow.
I'm getting butterflies in my stomach. This
I
is
can
so
feel
cool.
that.
And I know you guys have already the environment where you live, and it's just you've described basically, what is. So brilliant. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing. Barbara, did you want to add to this, or you're good?
It's, I'm good. He said it all.
You forgot the important part.
That was good. That was
It's good
awesome.
to be
Thank
with me.
thank you for sharing, guys. Anybody else who wants to share? Someone raised their hand. Oh, Lucy. Okay, please go ahead, Lucy. Bonsoir. You're muted. You're on mute.
You're on mute, Lucy. Oh, there we go.
You
If
need-
the world is growing as Paul said, I see myself this year in Cameroon,
Mm.
where I have been there when I was 23 years old to 25, working in a maternity, and I will visit this maternity this year. And I
Wow.
invite anybody to come with me.
Very nice.
Wow.
That
Won't
is
be
very
2
cool.
months, but we will go, a big bunch of people from Cameroon to Eseka. The place is Eseka. I lived there for 2 years when I was in my 20s, and I promised I would go before I died. So I must watch now.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, and you're in great shape. So
Brilliant.
that's
Thank you for sharing, Lucy. This is awesome. Thank you.
awesome.
Anybody else wants to share? Bill. Okay, let me just bring you up. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
What comes to mind here is I've always been in the helping profession all my life, and I've always liked helping people, especially the disadvantaged people.
Mm.
So we have a lot of seniors in the condo building, and if they need a little bit of help, I'll go out of my way to help them, whether to get them to. I drove a person to the hospital the other day because she didn't have a vehicle. I says, "Oh, well, I'll drive you there," and I took her there and waited, and drove her back. So yeah, I guess just helping different people, a variety of people, especially the more needy ones. I feel really good about that. Yeah.
I know you have a big heart, you and Linda, Bill, and thank you. I appreciate you sharing. Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else who wants to share? I know Allison was commenting about the news. That's why I was saying all these butterflies. It sounded so
Positive
nice.
news. Wouldn't that be wonderful? We'd actually watch the news.
Yeah. Anybody else who would like to share? Guys, some of you have wonderful ideas, and don't deprive everyone from your beautiful voice and ideas. Just take a chance to share something, just one thing, or it could be a few things. Just raise your hand or just start talking. I'll just find you and I'll bring you up.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Allison.
Allison, there we go.
Unmute yourself.
Okay, I would love to wake up with abundance of energy, attend a 7 a.m. call, and then go to the gym, do my workouts, and then meet somebody for go to a gourmet coffee shop, meet somebody for a gourmet cup of coffee, and in the wintertime go skiing for the rest of the day, and then come back, check my computer, check my finances to watch all the money that I've been making.
Yes.
Brilliant. I love it. Absolutely. This is perfect. I could actually visualize what you shared. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, if you happen to be on Facebook Live, you can join us on activeteamwebinar.com, activeteamwebinar.com. Come over here and then that way you can just raise your hand. We'll give you a chance to share. So let's continue and sharing some of your ideas. What would be your perfect day for you? Or something that you would like to do more of? Just raise your hand virtually. There's a little button on the bottom, but raise your hand. It's easier for me to find you. Or if you just start chatting. Oh, Scott. Okay, here you are. Go ahead, my friend.
You hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes.
Lower my hand. I enjoy in the evenings when it's nice Not you know, sleet and snow and freezing, but let's say in the summertime or in the fall or the spring, you know, we head outside like in the evening and stargaze with a nice hot drink and sit there, relax, Elaine and I.
Mhm.
So yeah, I enjoy that.
In fact, it reminds me when we visited you and Elaine and we were stargazing and we saw the satellite going by. Remember?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's so beautiful because you don't have the city pollution, what do you call it? Light pollution. And where you are in New Brunswick, it was just absolutely gorgeous.
Mm.
I know one thing I would love to do is see the Northern Lights. I've never seen the Northern Lights.
Oh, you haven't?
I've seen it on TV and all of that, but I've never seen it in real life. And at one point I was in Yellowknife and it happens all the time, but from the period of time I was there was none. So I was sort of,
If I may share, when I was a young teenager, we had Northern Lights here, and the whole sky was green and blue, and it was just like it was pulsating.
Yeah.
Almost thought it looked like you were going to be swallowed up by the sky. It was amazing. Yeah.
yeah. And I know where you guys live. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you
Thank you.
sharing. Irina.
Rena,
Okay, I'm gonna bring you up here at pin. Hello, how are you?
how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you all.
Yeah.
It's funny that just yesterday I did my vision board for 2023.
Nice.
So a lot of the questions you were going through, I was thinking about them yesterday because I wanted to put together like what I wanted my year to look like. So it's definitely good exercise. And now I have a whole vision board that I can look at them. It reminds me of my
Beautiful.
dreams.
Beautiful.
And some of my biggest dream in my life is basically how I want to see my life in the future is I definitely want to live somewhere in the warm climate, somewhere tropical. So I want to wake up in the morning and have a healthy smoothie and go for a run on the beach by the ocean, have a healthy morning, do some exercise, do some meditation, yoga. And then I want to plan my day and see who I can help, what I can do. I love helping people and animals. So I'd love to have like a charity organization that I could see, okay, what we can do today, what we can plan for the future. And I love also learning. So I would plan where I would go next in terms of some kind of like a summit, some kind of seminar, some kind of retreat, something that I can go and learn from others. So those like my two passions. And if I can spend my day doing that, that would be amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm glad that you took the time to
Picture
come
your
in this
vision
evening.
board. I'd love to see it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Irina. I appreciate you sharing.
For
Thank
sharing.
you.
I'd like to share here on behalf of Barry Seeley. He's on actually Facebook Live. He couldn't come in on Zoom. He says that I was born in England and would love to return for luxurious vacation and visit since I left there when I was 5 years old. So Barry, I actually put it up here. I know you're on the accelerator program, and buddy, I'm going to work hard to help you achieve this goal. This is fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Really do appreciate that. Okay, Mary Paul, you raise your hand again, please. Hold on, I'll bring you back up. Please go ahead.
Hi. Well, I have many interests, and one of them is tea. I'm a tea sommelier, and I used to do some tea tastings when I was in Ottawa, and I haven't had the chance since COVID or since I've been in Toronto. So I'd like to organize that again. And what I've been thinking lately is to create a tea for Max, because we know that in ATP, there's green tea, okay, which is also help to raise glutathione. So I want to create a tea. I want to design a tea that is good for your health, but with the Max flair. So that's one of my projects I want to work on in 2023. That's not going to be too hard, but that's something I want to do. But the bigger picture with the tea is that I like to travel. Cruise, I've never been a cruise person, but I want to do tea tastings on cruise lines, because you do an hour or two of work and then you got the whole week or the whole day to cruise, right? So this is it's been on the back of my mind for a long time. So this is something I would like to do. I'm also I have an interest in youth leadership. So I've done youth leadership programs in the past. I want to do them again. Women empowerment programs. I want to do, I want to have an institute for women empowerment. So these are things on my upcoming vision board. And I've got an artistic or an artistic side, so I want to develop that. I enjoy designing stuff and like upcycling stuff, repurposing stuff, and so these are all things that you gotta, aside from Max, you gotta take a little bit of time to decompress, to de-stress, and these are things for me to remove some of the stress of the grind of like
Daily operation, and I get you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Thank you, Maripo. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Okay, as we come to an end of this session, is there anybody else that would like to share before we finished? And again, if you just popped in, we did a training on what would be your perfect day. Obviously, as you know, the call will be recorded, it will be posted. And some folks have been sharing what would be that perfect day, or at least some segments of what would be representative of part of being a perfect day for them. And so if you just came in a little late, please feel free to share what would be the components or what would be a perfect day for you.
So would it be helpful if we put those questions in the messenger group or?
Actually, I posted them all on the comment, Tammy, as you were sharing in real time.
Okay, good.
So if you guys want, if you can actually, let me just confirm if this is correct. Yes, if you select them all, even if there's other text in between, you can always delete it. Just select all the text, copy and paste it into a document. So as we're carrying on, finishing this session, you have plenty of time to copy all the text. So you can do it that way, so you don't have to type in everything. Denise, you are up. Please go ahead and share.
Well, first of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
For me, it's a little complex. Of course, thank you for everyone else that actually explained their journeys and their dreams, and I very much sit hand in hand with everything that you've said. For me, it would be waking up probably in a European country. I would like to live there half the time, and then somewhere maybe more tropical in a few months of the year. I would like to do that for two reasons. I would like to expose my grandchildren to that part of the world. I am a cyclist, and I've only done that in the last few years after undergoing 16 surgeries. So what I would like to do is travel the world and get people cycling and active again, and recovering their health through Max and through fitness and nutrition, as I'm actually a chef on a side note. So nutrition and food are very important to me. And the second thing I would like to do is I'm a writer, and I would like to talk to people on a daily basis and gather a story and literally create a volumized journey of one chapter for each person I've spoken to in my lifetime, and whether it's a paragraph or a page, and have their story in print.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. That sounds absolutely wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Really do appreciate that. Awesome. Awesome. So I guess we're coming to the end of our session here, and thank you so much, everybody, for participating. You have no idea how important that is, and we certainly appreciate that. And Tammy and I really want to express ourselves on how grateful we are for your commitment and your participation. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday, and of course a Happy New Year. And a reminder that the next session will be January 2nd, and that's what we'll do the first segment of our Go for Diamond webinar. And remember that January 4th will be the first day where on the Crown Diamond Global Impact Facebook group. This is where we'll be hosting the first day of the 90-day run that will be taking place. Okay, tell me, you want to add anything else to this?
Just want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Eat fun stuff.
Make sure to move.
Take your switch if you need to, but just have fun. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your time. Don't think of work. Just enjoy the moment and every second that you're spending with your families and your friends. And we're going to have a very, very busy, fun, successful 2023. And I know Chris and I, our focus is at a very high level. And for those of you who want to run, great. For those of you who don't want to run, that's fine too.
Totally.
I mean, we're all in this to build our own dreams and here to support each other in all the things that we all desire to do have in our lives. And now I'm hearing about all the things that you guys want to do. And, you know, you can feel those connections, or, you know, somebody who wants to do stuff like that. It's kind of cool when I'm listening to that. But take the time to nail this down, what your perfect day is, because you're going to be reading this on a regular basis. You're going to be reading what I gave you at the beginning of the session, the quote, to set yourself up to be abundant, to receive easily, effortlessly, and to attract all the things that you love and desire in your life. So have a fabulous and stay safe, you guys. Please don't, if you're going to drink, please don't drive. I know you're all.
It's not worth it. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. Stay where you are, or get
Wanna
someone to
make sure
pick you
that
up, leave your
everybody-
car there, and
Yes.
just get an Uber. It is not worth it. So please be careful. And just a last reminder, as Tammy stated, we're going to go aggressive in 2023. And the reason why we created this Telegram group, the link have been posted a few times into the chat segment. If you want to really push hard in 2023, then I suggest that you go there. The reason is we don't want you to feel that you're putting you in a grind with the Canada USA group. If you want to kind of roam around and just kind of do this on a part-time basis, and that's totally cool. And we absolutely accept and we respect everybody's level of commitment. This group, I want to prepare you. It is going to be constant stuff, constant messages, constant things going on. And at first it'll be a bit more quiet because I'm waiting for people to join in. We have new associate that we sponsored, some pretty high profile people here in Toronto. And there's a lot more that are going to come on board. And we wanted this environment for people to be ready to start pushing through. And the last thing I'm mentioning is some of you are doing presentation tomorrow evening. If you're doing a presentation tomorrow evening, make sure that you are, like the presenters, make sure that you are in that group, okay, which is the Active Team Group Americas, okay? And then post your flyer there, and also cut and paste a segment of text so it's easy for people just to click on and join the actual event. Obviously change the date, but the information is generic, and the times are pretty much the same. And so that will be very, very helpful. Okay, so make sure that you promote your event, because there might be some people in that group that are going to want to be part of a presentation every single day, because they have prospects and they're very actively building. And if there's something going on every single Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and even also in the afternoon, as I posted the one for Thursday afternoon, I want to make sure you take responsibility in posting your flyers. Very, very, very important. Okay, Barry, I know you're also on Facebook Live, and there's others, some of you. Jonathan, thank you for joining in. Love your hearts and thumbs up, buddy. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I know it's about 10 o'clock in the Philippines now. Okay, folks, so have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we will talk to you on this segment of the Go for Diamond webinar on January 2nd, same time, same place. Okay, everybody, have a great, great night, and thank you for participating. Bye for now.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone, Merry
Happy holiday,
Christmas.
everyone.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Happy holiday.
Bye.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
All the best.
All the
Happy
best.
holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.